Hello, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. This pick a card reading is a general reading, so it should fit any situation you find yourself in. And as always, we have our piles here with group 1 on the left through to group 3 on the right. The timestamps will be in the description box below, along with the cards that I'm using. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are spots for January opened up. My booking link is in the description box below. Limited spots left for the month. However, I do open new spots at the beginning of the month or the end of the month for the following month. There's also links to my other social media platforms, so if you'd like to have a browse and check that out, feel free. That being said, I'll leave you with your selection and I hope you enjoy your reading. Hey group 1, and welcome to your reading. If you've chosen the sweet little fox, then this one is for you. I love this little fox. It was a Christmas present from a beautiful friend of mine, and the side of the box said intuition, and so this fox is bringing exactly that message of strengthening your intuition. But foxes also bring the message of being cautious and careful. They're very strategic, and they can be often known as to be sly and mischievous, and so they have all of those messages as well of playfulness and humor, but also to be careful and cunning as in your planning and your actions. And definitely a message of strengthening your intuition. So group 1, let's jump into your reading and see what we have here this week. Starting out with the past energy, we'll jump straight in. We have the 5 of Pentacles, the 6 of Swords, and Temperance. We won't linger here too long because the past is the past, and that's what this message is showing me, that you have come out of a situation, or you've found yourself perhaps in the past in a situation not working out for you. This person is sitting under a mushroom crying, moping, upset, hurting. There's a lot of lack in the 5 of Pentacles, so you could have experienced a financial strain, issues with work, issues in relationships, issues with health. Whatever it is, you've decided to remove yourself from that situation or to improve the situation in some way. And if you've chose group 1 last week, it kind of feels like a bit of a carry-on from that reading, where there's just, you're moving a whole life away. There's like a new beginning happening for you. With the 6 of Swords, you're leaving behind the stress and the burdens, and you're ready to open yourself up to new opportunities, new blessings, and create new opportunities for yourself as well. So with the Temperance here, I do get the sense of adventure from this card, being Sagittarius energy. I also see Aries in this reading as well. A strong fire sign energy for sure. Can also see Libra and Capricorn here as well, but it doesn't matter too much about those signs. I see you creating a lot more peace in your life, especially having 6 of Swords in the Temperance. So you're sort of surrendering to the changes that are happening in you and around you, whether you're creating them or not. A bit of both, I'm feeling. Some changes are not of your creation. I feel like you do need a bit of time out though to reflect. It might be a really reflective week as we open up this week with the 2 of Swords reverse. So you might be feeling this is a card of indecision when we have a 2 of Swords in reverse, and I feel like you might be a little bit overwhelmed by opportunity or even potential and options, overwhelmed by information perhaps, or just uncertainty, where you may need a little bit of time, maybe right now or through this week, or have had needed some time to just sit and listen to your own intuition, your own feelings about things and what you want and where you need to create changes, because there's a lot of cards here about change. Lots and lots and lots of cards about change, and it's good change, and it might be uncomfortable change though, but change is uncomfortable. I accept uncomfortable. That's the affirmation to get through hard change. Change is uncomfortable. I accept uncomfortable. Off we go. And you do it. And you do it, because we have got the Knight of Wands here next. We've also got the Emperor. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the 5 of Swords. So momentum happens for you this week. You could be dealing with a lot of different people. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of different characters here. So what you're having to go through this week may have a lot to do with many other people, maybe within your workspace, within your family. But I'm going to read this as your energy is mostly as well, other than what just comes through. But Knight of Wands and the Emperor, and all of this is seeking more stability in your life. That's what I feel like you're doing this week, and that may mean you're reaching appointments you need to get to, you know, the things that are just the responsibilities, the duties, the things that just, the cuts that need to be made. Like, you are stepping up in some way here. There's some level of motivation that encourages you to be more of a leader in your life or in your community or in your workplace or wherever it is. You want to take up charge, level up, step up. It really is that vibe this week, and I can see it here. So you may be having a lot of energy to put into exercise and that sort of thing as well. I like to see all this fire energy as a bit of motivation in that area, always needing encouragement to get the body moving and staying healthy. But I also see more stability here financially, and look, making some necessary cuts with that King of Swords, Five of Swords at the end of your week. This could be harsh conversations, or it could be just conversations where the truth needs to be said so that you don't have to engage in drama any longer. It's like there's no tolerance for crap in this reading this week, is what I'm feeling for you, Group 1. Like, just, yeah, I don't think you're open to any more drama or any more, even if it's from yourself, like your own triggers and stuff. I feel like you're really pulling it in. Like, you're really focusing on releasing anything that just isn't conducive with the life you're trying to create right now. And for some of you, I feel like there's opportunities this week. You may be speaking with people about opportunities within workplace or within your financial situation, or just within your life. Like, there's conversations being had with the right people this week, whether that's in meetings, appointments, or you just organising things to get things moving and happening, because I see an increase in your status in some way here, and whether that's long-term goals and you're just setting that up now, or it's happening now. Everyone might be a little different here, but there's a lot of really proactive energy, proactive, stable, abundant energy, and really reliable, consistent. Like, I feel like you're really wanting to show up and create some changes, or at least like enjoy these changes, embody these new, perhaps you've entered into a new role completely in your workplace and you're really like stepping up to the plate and taking it on, doing it well. Let's see. I just wanted to see of the Five of Swords here if there's anything else about that, and I do see the Star and the Eight of Swords. So if there's any concerns, I really feel like it's really necessary to stay grounded when it comes to any drama or intense conversations, arguments, whatever this might be about. It's really important to just stay grounded, remember yourself, remember your path, remember where you're headed, and just say, Spirit is guiding me always. That's all you need to know. Spirit's guiding me always. Let other people blow up if they want to. Let other people fly off the handle, but you just stay nice and grounded and true to what you're doing, because it just feels like a no bullshit week. That's the energy I'm getting from it, so that's good. In the challenge, we have got the Nine of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, so there might be some stress around finances here, or stress around the bigger structure of your life. Maybe it's to do with your house, a house sale. It could be to do with some sort of contract that needs to be signed, or some sort of financial investment that you have, some life investment that you have. There's some stress around this week. We did speak on last week, if you're a continuum of Group 1, and last week you were listening to the attachment to status and things of the past, the old lifestyles that just don't suit you anymore. So some of this could also have to do with feeling stressed about how much action needs to be taken in a new direction to create this stability you want to see, the stability that I can see you already have. I feel like there's a fair bit of reflection here. Like, when it comes to making choices, cuts, decisions, whatever, there's a real important need to reflect this week on something you've already done. That's what it feels like. Like, you need to reflect on the choices you made in the past, something you've already done, and learn from that, because you already have learned from that. So it's like, you might be seeking advice from someone this week, but you can actually rely on yourself more for that advice, is what I'm feeling. Currently, like, you know more than someone else can tell you about something right now, if that makes sense. Sounds so cryptic. I hope it makes sense. In the what will help with this challenge, we've got Judgment, the Two of Pentacles, and the Devil. See that's split here. It's like you could be caught between two worlds here. You could be caught between two things for sure. But you know the choice you need to make and what is going to be more beneficial in the long term. This could be so many things. This could be addiction to status levels in life. This could be overworking. This could be drugs and addictions in that sense. It could be toxic relationships. It could be obsessions. It could be temptation to things that aren't healthy. Like, there's so many things it could be, right? And with judgment here, you've got this awakening has already happened, group one. You've already gone through some level of surrender to change, to release something that's not working, that's not healthy, that's not good. So what will help with the challenge is continue these considerations, continue this inward reflection. I do feel like a hermit vibe here. It would be important for you to pull back at the moment, really just take care of yourself, unplug from the world. Actually, we'll pull this up. The Oracle card here, releasing allegiances. I do feel absolutely throughout this whole reading that it is a time to just pull back for a bit and not listen to other people's opinions, maybe not even listening to readings, just so you can listen to yourself for a little while. Have a bit of silence, do something a little creative, nurture yourself. Lots of self-love, self-care, and stepping back, pulling back. You don't need anyone else's opinions. So I think there's a lot of people around though. You might have a lot of people around. You might just have to deal with that. You might have a busy home. You may live in a busy life, like lots of people. I do feel like you've got good support though with someone there. I'm seeing like a healthy relationship or something, or just something like a good family member, perhaps a good fatherly figure, or some sort of support here. Maybe you are that fatherly figure. So what will help with the challenge as well is I think shifting priorities, making the cuts and changes that you already know are necessary. You know what needs to be done. That's why the Judgment is here. It's the first card. It's like, you know, right next to this actually, own your power. I really like that. And underneath, next to that is drop the excuses. We're jumping all over the shop now. Doesn't matter. Fix the external by changing the internal. Own your power. Happiness is an inside job, right? Everything is. Be stronger than your excuses. When you drop all the excuses, you start to see the results. Yeah, I think that's what will help with the challenge is stop fearing whatever it is you're fearing, your ability to succeed, or truly 7 of 10 of Pentacles, your ability to have abundance and success in some sort of venture. And drop the excuses, drop the fears, own your power, just get into it, do it. But this is fix the external by changing the internal. The internal is so many things. It's not just the thoughts we have and the way we perceive things, but it's also nourishing our body and believing in ourselves in just the small things. There's so many little tiny things you can do to shift the internal. It can also be, instead of doing one thing that isn't really beneficial for anything, when you could do something a little differently, like draw a nice picture, like that can be really rich for the inner world to process and release in that way. You also have nurture here in self-care prompts. So like this is a time to really, really take care of yourself and create something special and new and beautiful within yourself. Make new connections to and within yourself, because that will help with everything else, even though it seems like it's not even connected. It really, really is. The small choices you make in lifestyle will have everything to do with how successful your career is. It's all so interconnected. But anyway, back over here. I'm sure you all know that. I'm sure of it. Where am I? Further guidance, we have the 4 of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles, Princess of Pentacles. Yeah, that's the page. Sorry, I don't know why I forgot. I haven't used this deck in a couple of weeks. Been on a bit of a break. It's been kind of good. Yeah, so 4 of Wands. Look, this is further guidance, and this is everything I've just said as well. This is a lot of self-care. This is resting in the home space. I'm also getting, like, I saw someone painting a house when I saw this, like painting on maybe just a feature wall or a shelf, or like doing little home upgrades, things that feel nice around a home. I also saw the sale of a home for somebody that may be stressed around the timing of the sale of a home. Trust that it will happen in the right timing for that particular thing. There's definitely these messages for individuals, not everyone. But this is spending your money, time and energy on things that fulfill you. I'm getting a work from home project, like starting a side hustle or starting like a home business, or all of this sort of stuff, new beginnings in this way. Put your energy towards it, but also put energy towards taking care of yourself. Like I said, like so much in this reading is a time to just take it easy. I know there's a lot of energy around action, like we even have the Oracle card Action from Sacred Destiny Oracle, and so and that is directly underneath the Aries Emperor card, which is the card of action. I would say it's Mars energy. And so with the Knight of Wands as well, like you are encouraged to make things happen and move forward, but I think when it comes to making decisions, like rely on yourself and don't rush yourself to have all the information, but just sit with things and move through these changes without fearing them. New purchases for things around the home, seeing that for sure, like buying something that's broken, like replacing that old thing that needs fixing, that sort of stuff I think would be really good to take care of at this time. Little stuff like that, as you can, as it's affordable. But just like garden changes, all sorts of things, like to redecorate, cleaning, decluttering. It doesn't have to, like, you don't have to spend money to make changes around the home that feel good. It can also be about releasing clutter, like releasing allegiances can be very much about that. Releasing clutter and things you don't need anymore. And this is also kind of like stepping back from even your healthy connections for a time, just to really connect in with yourself. It doesn't mean that they're gone forever. It's just a time to just pull back from the world a little bit. The outcome energy, we have the Queen of Wands. I love that, more fire here. Four of Cups and the Ace of Wands. I'm glad to see the Ace of Wands because I felt it throughout this whole reading. And to me, it feels like divine inspiration. So whether that's you channeling messages for people or just getting exactly like this creative ideas that come through and to act upon them. What did I get with the Four of Cups? There was something in particular. Seven of Cups, Nine of Wands I see there, and the Lovers. And that's it. It's this resistance to step into your power for uncertainty, I think. Or like, yeah, there's little fears. There's barriers towards achieving your goals. There are barriers, but the barriers are only within yourself is what I'm feeling here. Like, I'm sure there's lifestyle stuff, like not lifestyle, sorry, life things that happen, challenges and whatnot that come up and we have to overcome them. It's part of life. But a lot of your barriers I'm feeling for great success are only within yourself, and perhaps even just what I'm getting here, especially with the Devil there and these considerations, it is time to really to be a bit more serious. It might not be for everyone, but there's a message here about being a bit more serious about the things that are no longer good for you or work for you, and not trying to make something. For some of you out there, I feel like you might be wanting something that's not going to work, or like it's something that, and part of you knows it deep down, but you perhaps try to keep making it work, or it's like romanticizing old things that just haven't been good. I think so. It's like, see something for what it is, accept it, and move forward. That's the message I'm getting there. There's a lot more power in you moving forward and just embracing what is and accepting things for how they are and seeing things for how they are. It doesn't feel like a major message, but yeah, take it or leave it. Queen of Wands, Ace of Wands on either side of this. It's like you may be getting yourself out of a bit of a slump. Well, we have started the reading with the Five of Pentacles in the past position. So may even, like, I see two people at odds here as well. So with the releasing allegiances as well, there could be a dramatic change in a relationship. That very well could be the case. It's hard to break these things down sometimes in a general reading and keep it for everyone, because everyone's individual details and outcomes will be so different. But what I'm seeing here is, yeah, maybe something isn't so great right now. Four of Cups, this is pessimism. And usually with the Four of Cups though, there's like one cup that they're not focusing on, but all four cups here are on the outside of the window. I'm catching fresh rainwater though, and I personally love to catch fresh rainwater for my garden. So, maybe you can use this things that haven't worked out as an opportunity to learn and grow from that, because you've got the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Wands here. So you're a very empowered person and very creative person. We have in Oracle cards, social media detox, no liking, no posting, just living. Don't let it take over your life. Take it as it resonates. Maybe it's just what you also just like screen in general, like screen time. Maybe you want to do something a little bit more creative instead of being on the social media. It also can help like any comparisons you might be having with your work and someone else's work, or your level of success to someone else's. None of that is going to be helpful right now. Find a mentor in your field who can help you reach your goals faster. It'd be really helpful. We also have underlying energy of this deck anyway was level up, start small, start today, just start. I love that for you because you also have new beginnings and nurture. So lots and lots of cards here with the Ace of Wands, with the Ace of Cups. We have a lot of energy talking about change and new beginnings, and we have the pathway, direction, purpose, and change. And that's exactly it. Like this change that is happening for you, what you've left behind, moved away from, it really is bringing you to a state of enlightenment and a better life. And just, there's so much. That was actually something I got, now I remember, when I was shuffling the cards at the first of the oracles. There was this real strong sense of like I wanted to keep pulling so many cards about the great things that are coming in the future for group one, like it started to overwhelm me. I'm like, no, just leave it. We'll cross those bridges when they come. It's funny, we've got a bridge here. And that's the thing, I really feel like that for group one, is that you guys, you're really like, whatever you're leaving behind, accept it, because there's so many really great blessings to come throughout this year and beyond. And there's so much here about direction. And while you did have the Two of Swords reversed underneath this card, indecision, fear, and worry, you need to trust and go with it. You really do need to trust where there is a new beginning and take action towards that and nurture yourself every step of the way. So we also had, nearly forgot because I tucked them into the book, Wisdom of the Oracle. I got an Oracle message and then a prosperity message for you. So for Oracle, we had clean it up. You ever feel so bogged down with emotional gunk that you can't think straight? Could you be surrounded by physical clutter in your home also? Too much work or overwhelmed? Time to clean house. Every item out of place natters away at you. Every unresolved resentment, every comparison to others that leads to a sense of lack takes up energetic space. Every unpaid bill just adds up to an unnecessary feeling of being overwhelmed. Now is the time to free yourself by energetically cleaning house. Just do it. Make room for miracles that are lining up for you. And I did say that as well earlier, actually, about like if you've got appointments or things that need to be done, like just get into it, get it done, get it cleared up, organize yourself so that you don't feel like a sense of rush throughout the week because you're organized. You know, you can just flow. Prosperity message, you had message in a bottle. You are on target with your purpose, which is interesting because we had this direction, purpose, and change card with the pathway. You're on target with your purpose and passion. You are coming into alignment with your destiny. That's wild. And Spirit wants you to know that you're on the right track. Expect a call, a new opportunity, or a message from an old friend or business contact that will lead you closer to your dreams and greatest desires. Spirit has been listening to you. 2222 on my time of recording when I just looked up from that. Yes, totally. I could feel it when I was shuffling before. And then I had to go for a drive, so then I came back to it and I got to reconnect, but it was still like, you can totally feel that excitement. And I feel like that's something yet to come for you, perhaps, the excitement building up, but you can create that. And I think it's a lot of, I'm just seeing this, like create it in your home space, create it in your atmosphere, put the music on, put the candles on, put the smells on, like open the windows, let the fresh air in, let the sunlight cleanse the place, like do those things. Yeah. Do the things. All right, group one, that's what I have for you with beautiful Fox here today. I hope you've enjoyed this message. That is what I have for you. And if you like this message, hit the like button. And that is all. So take care, group one. See you next time. Hey, group two, and welcome to your reading. If you've chosen the Angelite point, and this one is for you. Such a sweet little stone, Angelite. A stone of spiritual awareness and calming and soothing energy. So it makes sense for all the cards that I see here and what the journey I see unfolding and where you're at right now, that you would be 100% resonating with this message of spiritual awareness, like coming into this greater understanding of your journey and why things are the way that they are. I just felt like this ringing sensation come through my ears then. It might be something you're feeling sometimes, the ringing and stuff, like different sensations. There's a lot of change or different things that you're becoming aware of, I think. You might be going through like, I guess they call it awakening symptoms, where, you know, just lots of different things. So you may be seeing repeat numbers and just things like that might be happening for you more. It may be a new thing for you, may not be. But soothing and calming, I think, is necessary as well. So Angelite, group 2. Let's jump straight into your reading, I would say, because it's quite an interesting one. We've got a lot of major arcanas here on the table. Lots of really strong internal energy, lots of really strong self-direction and understanding and processing, I would say. The underlying energy for this reading is the Four of Swords, so healing and rest right now. And yeah, a bit of change. Underneath that, we've got the Four of Wands, the Hierophant. I do feel like you may be taking rest from a group or a situation at the moment, but I do feel for you there is a beautiful community or a family or friends that do love you very much, that have got your back, that do support you and love you and want the best for you. I do feel that there's lots of love there for you from your community. And people in your community want the best. Like, they really want to see you rise up and just be the best self and achieve your dreams, and overcome some things that I guess have been hard on your journey. I just get a lot of well wishes coming through there. That's interesting. A lot of well wishes, whether those people are in spirit or in your everyday life. Do understand that you are supported and loved, and that's something you really need to know right now, I think. But anyway, in your reading, you have in the past energy, we have all major arcana bar the Two of Wands. So Two of Wands, Magician, Judgment, and Death. Amazing combination here, absolutely amazing, because here you are. You're at this is past energy, so you would have found yourself recently, who knows the timing of these things, everyone's a little different, but you've found yourself at this crossroads and this change in your life, where we see here one wand has nothing around it and you're grabbing a hold of the second option. You've changed something. You've grabbed a hold of a new adventure or a new opportunity or a change. And there's a lot more potential for you waiting for you to discover and learn because of this change. And I think you're aware of that. And that's part of this process I think you're going through. A process of awakening and stepping into your power. We do have the Magician here, Judgment and Death. So there has been a big change for you, perhaps an ending as well with the Death card here. That could be the case. You can see in your cards that while there's a great deal of positivity in this reading for where you're headed, what you've been through is painful, and the reading does touch on that. So Magician here, the Judgment, this is you really making serious changes. So that's all I'm thinking about here, is just like big types of changes where you're starting to understand perhaps how it is that you manifest your reality, or you might be coming to understand the power it is that you have at your fingertips here with Magician, like what you're truly capable of creating. And there's this truth here that you can't avoid. Like, you really know that, you know, you have the power to create anything, and you can liberate yourself out of heavy, dense situations, and that you've been called to create transformation in your life in some really large scale way. And that is continuing. I'm getting for someone wanting to quit smoking, I'm getting that message quite strongly here. I'm getting that message of just like the little things that just don't, it's got to go, or it's got to change. It doesn't work anymore. It's not healthy for you, whatever it might be. It might be a way of eating, like a binge eating pattern, or a too much screen time. Like, it could be so many things. Like, these things minimize I shouldn't even give examples, because I feel like it minimizes the largeness of what I feel like this change is bringing for you. And this could have been a large major change, like a large major event in your life. Like, it could have been a family tragedy here as well that's created big change. That is a possibility for some. But either way, I just feel like your life is not what it used to be, say 2 years ago, or even further back. It just maybe 2 months for some of you, maybe 2 weeks for some of you, maybe even 2 days. There's something here where things have changed. It's not how it was, and as much as for some of you that's a really painful thing, and perhaps even not a good thing. The future will come to show that life moves on in such ways that there are blessings to come, is what I'm trying to say here. So in the future energy, current energy, and moving ahead, we've got the Three of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Lovers. We have the Two of Cups. We also have the Nine of Swords reversed and the Four of Pentacles. So it's an interesting ride. Let's start out with the Three of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. So you, at this time, you may find yourself connecting to, I was wanting to say aligning to, attracting to, finding yourself maybe randomly, or maybe not so randomly, just connecting to people that are going to help you with this change that's happening in your life. There's people around you that are going to teach you things that you need to know, and that there's some things that you might be learning or coming aware of at the moment that are shocking for you. We've actually got the card here, Shock of the New. There's a lot of new information, new ways of being, new awareness. Like, you're having massive change here. These things that you're learning, some of them you might be, that might be hard to accept, or there might be resistance to absorbing new information at times. But I can see here you're being very, very guided with a lot of information. Even this card here, Tree of Souls, collective wisdom, kinship group, and library. This is Akashic Records energies here in this card. This is about working with collective energy. And I feel like there's an expansion of your awareness happening here in regards to collective energy and how we manifest. I think you're learning new things here, or you're learning. This might also be like a new idea that you have, or that is yet to come to you, something inspiring, or something that's quite shocking and different, and you're asked to really embrace that. Something new, something shocking, something different, new information, things that open your mind. Stay very open-minded at this time to new information and new ideas, and don't give up on them. I feel like you're really being shaped towards something based on these changes, and so any people you're coming into contact with at this time are helping you on that journey. You may be already grouped in with people that are helping you. You may be yet to meet them. This is in future energy. You may have something coming up, an event where you get to collaborate with other people coming up for you. But we also have the Lovers and the Two of Cups here as well. So lots of really beautiful connections around you and in your life. This may be your loving partner that is here in your life, that's working with you or helping you through something. You may have a devoted, loving family or a beautiful community. There's a lot of kinship here. There's a lot of companionship here. This is a soulmate card. It can talk about beautiful friendships, not just intimate relationships. But it can also be that message of finding that beautiful balance within yourself and making choices that are just aligned with good health and wellness for yourself and for your journey. I think there's a real vibe here of looking after other people. I get that energy. You might be someone who you want to maybe felt like working within charity or doing things that help other people in some way, or setting up an opportunity to be able to help in a larger platform with people. We have the Four of Pentacles, Nine of Swords reversed, then the Four of Pentacles. And what I feel here as well, for some of you that have perhaps been moving through relationship struggles or pain in that regard, I feel like you're coming out of that heaviness of the mind. Like, you may have had a lot of struggle with thoughts, overwhelming thoughts, or just inconsistent thought patterns, or I'm actually feeling like mental disturbance of some kind. So you may have just had poor mental health for a time. You may have struggled with that. It feels like something that's not it's not a permanent thing. It doesn't feel, it feels like something you're getting a hold of, if I can say that. And the Four of Pentacles here, I think it's also It's an interesting vibe. Like, I get so many different feelings throughout this whole reading. Like, one moment things are moving forward and there's lots of expansion and opening and connection, but then there's another part of you that wants to close off, shut down, and push the world away as well. So take that as it resonates. It may be different, you know, like every day you might be, you know, 4 seasons in one day for you. You might be just going through motions of change. And awakening and all that comes with that which you cannot ignore anymore, and all of those things, right? But I feel like you, with the Nine of Swords here, I mean, it is in reverse, so you are coming out of this feeling of angst or uncertainty, or even paranoid delusion. I'm hearing for some that might have been, like, this also could be an energy of someone else you've dealt with, that you might have been dealing with someone else who's had mental instability or feeling just not well in that way for some time. Depression perhaps could be like just a bout. It feels like more like I don't know. But it is a time to really embrace new ideas and start building upon those. Four of Pentacles can be a card of solid foundations, and it's like conserving your energy and putting your focus and your energy, your finances, your resources, your time to things that are worthwhile, and not being diluted or spread out into multiple different things, but just, you know, sort of honing your power into what you want to focus on. And protecting your energy, taking it easy, taking it slowly. I think, like, also seeing like better overall health. It needs to be a focus here. I'm seeing that message of like good sleeping, not sitting on your phone or screen too late at night, making sure you just shut off, say 10:30, give yourself a time limit or something where you just say, right, that's where I'm going to shut my eyes and focus on my breathing until I fall asleep, or whatever you're going to do. And I'm also seeing supplements and like just a better health routine, or like a bit of meal prepping or something, just so that you can have a bit more nutrition. Like, just basic time to look after yourself stuff might be helpful here as well. But there's a lot of change happening here for you. You've got a lot of support in your corner. It's a bit tricky, this reading. I hope it resonates. Anyway, let's move forward into the challenge, where we have got the Eight of Swords, the Five of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles. So the challenge is heavy. There's this pain about the Ten of Pentacles here. The Ten of Pentacles is something long term. And so this could be something that has crumbled in the past. I do get that for some of you. There may have been a major loss in the past. You may have built up a really successful business, and for whatever reason, it's no longer standing. You may have had a tragedy within your family. I did feel that for someone in particular in this group, where there's been a tragedy strike the family, and a great sense of loss, and having to come to terms with that loss and move forward and create new opportunities and be open to a different life than you thought you were going to have because of this tragedy, or this loss, this situation. But what I'm seeing here is this sense of powerlessness because of a loss. But what you're moving through now, like, this is the challenge. Yeah, you know it. That's what I'm feeling anyway. But what I'm seeing here is you're also coming into this awareness of how to move through the challenge, and that's what it seems to be for you here. Like, you're moving more into your power and embracing new information that's going to help you release sadness, release this feeling of insecurity, or feelings of just not being good enough, or things that just overwhelm you. And maybe it could be thoughts that then send physical sensations through the body. Like, I get a lot of that sort of almost like head and heart struggles, things like that. You may also be stressed with finances. We do have the Ten of Pentacles here, with Four of Pentacles is here as well, as within your week, where you're looking to save your money, you're looking to save your energy, save your resources, and only spend where necessary. What will help with the challenge? We've got the Three of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Wands. So see how they've got all this grey, drab and heavy energy on the outside, but you've got something beautiful and new growing here with the Ace of Pentacles. So it's exactly like I've said just before. Like, I can see here that there's a great deal of challenge, but there's also something new being born here. There's something there's a new opportunity, there's an abundance that will grow into more abundance the more you focus on it, which brings me to this really cool part of the reading. I'll pull that back up in a moment, but I love this deck because the way the pictures interact with each other. If you want to learn tarot, I recommend it. It's a good one. This one in particular, I love how this can come together sometimes in a reading, and they came out together, and I've always loved this. The Seven of Pentacles to the Nine of Pentacles, because Seven of Pentacles is that message of investing, spending your money on something that's going to pay off in the long term, or really nurturing something. And see how he's nurturing this plant here and all the little seeds or bulbs that are underneath the earth, and he's continuing to focus his love, his energy, his attention onto this project, this thing. And then in the Nine of Pentacles, he reaps all of the rewards. There's a harvest there, you know, there's a bounty from all of his hard work. So that's what I'm seeing here. Like, yeah, you might be moving through something really painful and hard to accept, really, really hard to release. The Ten of Wands, carrying things from the past self, the past pain and hurt, unsure where to put it, where to unpack it, how do you even get to that point before you can move forward? Some people might be at that place. Everyone might be in this at a different variance of depth, you know. And for some of you, this does feel like it could be quite a tragic moment. For others, this could be just something not so heavy and life-changing, but still affecting you, and it's here, right? It's heavy. Might be easier to release for some. But nonetheless, you are carrying something with the Ten of Wands here, and there's with all this stress and fear about like acquiring something great. Maybe it's the long-term happy relationship, the happy family picture. Maybe that's what you feel disconnected from, something you're searching for. Start with what you have, what you already have. There's something here to be said for what you already do have right here in your fingertips, and to nurture that, because it will grow into something so beautiful, just like this. Like, how does it get any clearer, this message? Like, there's the seed, nurture it, and you will get the rewards. Like, whatever this thing is, whether maybe it's your studies, maybe it's your physical health, maybe it's your family dynamics and the relationship you have with your children, maybe it's the relationship you have with yourself, maybe it's so many, maybe, like, you know what it is for you, I hope. And there's no need to fear growth. There's no need to fear change. There's no need to fear nurturing yourself. What the further guidance that comes from the Nine of Pentacles was the Star and the High Priestess. Like, nourishing, healing, divinely guided message, right? Things will align for you. The blessings you want to pull into your world, you will create them. You're already coming to learn your ability to create in this life. And the amazing outcome cards, like, what the heck? The Sun and the Ten of Cups. That's the happiest cards in the deck in the world. And then now I get that not everyone in this reading is connecting to such a heavy message. I know some people are. Don't know what I want to say about that other than that. Like, yeah, some people will connect really much with that, the heaviness that's here and the anguish and the pain of this card depicts. But for many of you, you're just so grateful to be looking forward to this new growth that you are manifesting, that you're putting your energy towards, and creating a whole new world for yourself. Really, really happy outcomes, really divine outcomes. So shock of the new, embrace it. We've got, I was going to say 2 sunflowers there. Maybe sunflower is your favorite flower, but it wasn't 2 sunflowers anyway. Just move right along. We had the Tree of Souls, so we already did hold that one up, about collective groups. We also saw the Three of Pentacles. So do learn new things from different people, embrace these new opportunities with different groups and what they can have to offer you. We have Power, and you will just hold Power. Maybe we'll go to the book. This is the time to trust in your power. Let's go to the book though and see what it has to say. This is your time. This is the time to claim your power, to step into your potential. This doesn't necessarily mean that you will be without fear. It might feel uncertain, but do it anyway. Be courageous. Let the world hear your voice. Take a stand. Stand up for yourself and for others. Share your passion. Teach from the heart. Write, and your words will have great meaning. Hold your body as if it were an incredibly valiant, noble, and brave. After all, you are. I can actually, now that I read that, I can see that in all of this angst. Like, I can see someone like even on a creative journey and doubting their work. Like, don't get in the way of something good. Just start and it'll slowly build. Don't compare yourself to other people that have already done all of that work. Like, you just start, nurture your thing. Don't worry about the climb. Yeah, totally. You had the card Voyage, which I thought was cool because you also had travel. So some of you might be looking forward to making travel plans or going to travel, traveling for work. Could just be little traveling day trips. It might be something you like to look forward to. Just having a little trip to look forward to sometimes can really help. I know I like to have a little trip to look forward to, even if it's just a one-day thing somewhere or a date. We have got the Two of Cups and the Lovers here as well. Some of you might be experiencing a beautiful date this week, a nice time with your partner or a nice time with yourself as well. You don't need another person to have a date. This can also be about cooking yourself a beautiful meal. Or if you don't feel like cooking, take yourself out for a beautiful meal. If you've got kids, let them cook with you. Date, put music on while you're chopping up the veggies. Like, just have a good time. Enjoy what's already here in your hands is what I'm seeing there. Make the most of your home space. Make the most of your beautiful kitchen. Make the most of, the food and the opportunities you have to cook. I love cooking. Anyway, just make the most of stuff. So I got two cards from here. One is an oracle message and one is prosperity. So for oracle, you have flexibility. A tree's roots are solidly planted in the ground, yet its branches can bend in a hurricane, whereas a rigid structure like a building would come crashing down. Consider how the tree remains supple and secure when everything around it may be in shambles. This is how you need to be now, willing to learn new things, teachable, malleable, yet firmly grounded in who you are. Common sense is important, but so is an open mind. Stay curious, stay open, stay aware. At this time, others will be more flexible with you too. I like that. And then for your prosperity message, you have Yang. Projects, partnerships, and all matters relating to your business are out of the obstacle phase and onto the make it happen phase. Now is time to stake your claim and get things done. While you can expect to be busier than usual, this card tells you that you have all the energy and vitality you need to accomplish your goals. Abundance is waiting for you to claim it. And I'm just seeing the sun and then like shining down here on the table. That's it. It really is a time of creating something really beautiful for yourself. So group 2, that is what I have for you here in this reading. The underlying energy, like I said, was that Four of Swords, resting and healing and moving through change, but there's also really good times ahead. And I love this reading. I hope it's resonated with you, giving you some sort of comfort, clarity or guidance. If you like this reading, hit the like button, and that's all I have for you, group 2. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Hey group 3, and welcome to your reading. If you've chosen this beautiful big piece of howlite, then this one is for you. I love this big piece of howlite. It's so beautiful. So this stone, all for restful sleeping. I remember howlite was like one of my first crystals I ever got, and I was directed to put it in my pillowcase to help me sleep better at night and help with night terrors and dreams and all of that stuff. But this is also a stone representing the enjoyment of life, just enjoying life, and getting restful sleep, of course, as well. So in releasing attachments as well, I think that was another one for howlite, releasing unhealthy attachments to things. So group 3, let's jump into your reading. It's quite an interesting one. Where do I even start? The past energy sort of trickled on into the like usually I have past energy and then the week ahead sort of vibes, and a little, but there's no gap on the cards today, so it's like it's a continuum perhaps for you. Let's just start out with the Queen of Wands. We'll try and break it into past energy anyway. The Queen of Wands, the Nine of Wands, Six of Swords. I will call that past energy. So what I have here, I see a few different situations for group 3 here. I can see with the Queen of Wands, you are somebody who, as often I say for group 3, is a healing person, somebody who is a leader, a way shower, a healer, an artist perhaps, somebody who can really help people in so many different ways. So with this Queen of Wands, I can see that you've already accomplished a great deal in your journey. And with the Nine of Wands, you might be feeling a little tired in the past from all that you do and all that you have had to do. You may have enjoyed a good break from things, maybe not, maybe you haven't gotten a break. That's why the Nine of Wands is here. But what I see is a reluctance in the past to share your light or to move forward any further. For whatever reason, there's been a barrier there for you. But with the Six of Swords here, I feel like you're ready to come out of that tiredness or that wounding perhaps. The Nine of Wands can be the wounded warrior card, so you may have felt like a little reluctant to open your heart, or a little just held back, or just closed off, or whatever it might have been. There's something you've just, and then that floodgates might be starting to open for you, or there might be, there's just this, might not be floodgates, but it just might be this gentle movement into a calmer time, a nicer time, a time where you feel like things are a bit more balanced and you can pay attention to how you feel. Bringing in a lot more flow and happiness and joy into your situation. Not to say that that was missing for everyone here. Like, I don't know. It's hard to say any which thing right now, because I feel like there's a lot of different vibes you could be in at the time of connecting to this reading. It's not like entirely clear what your state you're in right now, is what I'm trying to say, other than just sort of like coming out of a time of perhaps being a little walled off and ready to expand, open up, but also getting a right amount of rest for yourself as well, like Howlight says, and I can see in the cards here things are moving ahead for you. There might be a new opportunity here as well in the past that's come forward, which might be also a little daunting. Yeah, I can see it, like you might have sometimes just so much responsibility on your shoulders that it might feel like a lot sometimes, and that can be a whole thing. Finding time for yourself as well, and to keep balance, and just all the things, they do build up. So with the Six of Swords, Three of Wands coming into the week ahead, we also have the Hermit. We'll leave it there for now, where look, you're coming out of this, we can see in this perfect depiction of coming out of this time of feeling like, not so fresh, not so abundant with energy or goodness to give the world or yourself. And you're sort of coming, I feel, into more balance, where you're taking care of yourself a little bit more right now. You're just trying to maybe balance things out before things pick up again, because I can see like an ebb and flow of busyness or something. Like you may have had a recent break over the Christmas period perhaps, and coming back into work now, or something like this. Like I see like a ebb and flow. So I think as well with the Hermit here, it also is that I feel like this is connecting to your deep knowing surrounding a situation. So you might be coming out of a fog or a stressful thoughts around a situation, and sort of just easing into what will be, and just sitting with your own truth on the matter, or like getting to know how you feel about a certain situation, with Judgment here as well. Like all of these are really reflective cards, I would say. They can be quite reflective, sort of waiting for more things, like for what's to come, sort of opening up to maybe opening up your schedule, or opening up to the month or the year ahead of what's to come for you, opening up to your studies, opening up to routine ideas, community groups, whatever it is. I know this is a very internal energy, but I do feel like there's a lot happening around you as well. So we also have the Hierophant and the Knight of Wands here in the week ahead. So I can see here for some of you this is literally returning to work or returning to school. For some of you this is, you maybe didn't even leave or get a break at all. It's just still happening. You're still trying to catch a bit of a break, but this is you excitedly learning new things that you are passionate about. And I think it's also about being willing to just try things out, even if you don't know everything yet, or you haven't experienced it before, or you're not a master of this thing. That's okay. It's more about the learning experience here, and developing new skills, and opening yourself up to new knowledge, and just being happy to go with life in your terms, and just enjoy life, like Howlight was suggesting, to just enjoy your quality of life and let go of any stress, let go, release attachment, it said here as well, getting better sleep. Like all these cards kind of echo that. So take care of yourself. It could be like really big message for you, or it could just be a gentle ease of continuum sort of message. Continuum of ease, I mean to say. With the Knight of Wands here at the end of the week, I do feel with the Eight of Wands here on the bottom of the deck as well, like there's definitely something you're doing towards the weekend or the end of the week that is fun for you perhaps, or like adventurous maybe, or you're acquiring a new skill, or you're doing something fun. Like it could be anything. You could be going dancing, you could be learning, doing a course, you could be going on some sort of adventure. Like the Knight of Wands can be such a it can be an impulsive energy, but I feel like it's more just passionate and motivated and encouraged. And with the Hierophant here as well, like I do feel like you're learning something great or embodying new skills. In the challenge area this week, we have got the Eight of Swords, the Seven of Wands and the Moon. So there's definitely there's this undercurrent of stress here. It's hard to pick for this reading what exactly this is for you. This could be having challenge with other people, other people's opinions. We do have the card What Do You Feel, which is a sort of like an indecision card. She's weighing up apples for oranges here. It's that message of like, you know, sometimes you might be overwhelmed by opportunities, or overwhelmed by responsibility, or overwhelmed by opinions or information. And sometimes you just need to take that step back to really gauge what it is you feel about a situation before making any choices. And it's okay to consider the advice and opinions of others. We've got the Queen of Wands sharing advice with somebody, protecting them from being burnt here. So, you know, while it may be good to get advice and consider what other people have to say, at the end of the day with the Hermit here and the Three of Wands, it's like you're taking a little time out. She's got a little cup of tea there, waiting for her own sense of feeling to arise surrounding the situation or decision, if it's a choice you need to make. You might be feeling a little powerless and uncertain. You might be just feeling like, how am I going to make all this work? You may feel like there's a lot to come, a lot to do. You just might be feeling challenged in general. Seven of Wands, like you could be challenged by other people, or just simply challenged by a feeling of like inability, or like you might doubt your capability, you might doubt yourself, you might doubt because of something someone else has said. You might like, don't let it cripple you, don't let it exhaust you. The doubts, worries, concerns, fears, uncertainty with the Moon, you know, there's a lot of emotion that gets triggered through doubt, stress, or maybe needing to be defending yourself, or maybe it's maybe you're defensive because you're uncertain, and there's no need for that as well. Like, take it out, resonates. It's, like I said, it's a weird reading. I'd love to hear from you group through this week, because I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure if it makes too much sense, but we'll continue. In the, what will help with the challenge area, this makes perfect sense. The Five of Swords is here, so any competitive, like you've literally got first, second, third here, any competitive behavior, or even if it's just in your own mindset, like being competitive with other people, or what I'm seeing here is that that's not going to help your situation. To leave the competitive drama behind, or just petty situations, lose-lose situations. Five of Swords is often depicting a situation where people are walking away from a battlefield and everyone's wounded, no one won, you know, like it's a lose-lose. So no longer, you know, investing any energy into any of this sort of stuff, and really just focusing on what you're creating. With the Knight of Pentacles, I love this for advice. It's just a beautiful, grounded, get to it card. It's like there's no hurry, there's no need to put pressure on yourself, but it's just do what's in front of you, chip away at it. With the Strength, it's having that courage to be persistent and to continue showing up even when you may feel like you haven't got what it takes, or, you know, it's bravery, it's courage, it's perseverance. So to keep chipping away at something, even if you know, have this doubt mindset, or you feel like if you feel like you're not good enough for the situation or to achieve what you want to achieve, that's not true. You just need to prove it to yourself by showing up. So further guidance here, we've got some pretty strong cards: King of Swords, King of Wands, and Temperance. This is no BS energy. I've actually had that vibe a few times in the readings this week. Like, it's just, there's no time for games. There's no time for bullshit. It's just like, I know what I've got to do. Maybe I've got to accept that or whatever and face it, just doing it. Like, it's a cool week for that, I think. Anyway, King of Swords, so, you know, really logical thinking, really firm authority, like clear thinking, able to speak on it. The leadership energy here, this is actually a woman in the King of Wands. She's got a bunch of people around the fire listening to her direction. So take lead in your own life and perhaps in the people around you. I've got a lot of like help other people vibe from this group, and I often do. I feel very benevolent energy within group 3 people that are connecting, and I can see even here, like, a lot of your journey here is to help other people, and that's a very, very, very big part of your purpose here, and probably also has a lot to do with what it is you're maybe struggling with deciding or feeling at a crossroads of. Like, it might be a change in your work or the way you do your work, or how much work you do, like how much you give and take, reciprocity, things like that might be up for consideration right now, and how you want to conduct yourself moving ahead. It's like there's so many different things to consider right now. It's hard to pinpoint one big thing, but I do feel here that there's something moving ahead with that is going to be quite successful for you, but it's also requiring your patience, your leadership, the belief in yourself, the knowledge and experience you've already had thus far to use that to direct this project or this thing that you're working towards here. There's a lot to be said for healing abilities here and learning new things when it comes to that. So maybe you're studying astrology, or maybe you're learning a new healing modality, or maybe you're studying something different. And it's going to require, like I said, your patience, and it's going to require a lot of balance, like between action and movement and making things happen, but also that maybe like inner reflection time and study and you know, more passive energy. A nice balance there. Work and play, all of that. And the outcome energy, we have the Fool, the Ten of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. I thought that was really interesting to see, because the Fool and the Ten of Swords, this is a really nice one, because the Ten of Swords, like I've said many times on this channel, because this deck is not somebody who's been stabbed in a million places and dead and nowhere else to go. It's more of an indication of moving up and onwards, and as you can see the Phoenix rising here, a transformation in your life. And with the Fool here, it's like, yeah, it's really time. There's a big transformation happening within you, just you, and who you are, how you show up. And this might be a very private thing for you. For others, this is an external situation, ending a job, starting a new one, that sort of thing, ending a relationship, maybe starting a new one. There's just big transformation and change, expansion, I should say, new opportunities, and a time to explore that and let things flow in that direction. You've got the Queen of Swords here as well, with King and Queen of Swords in this reading now. So this is very intellectual energy. You might be stepping up into a role of becoming a teacher, or you might be stepping up into studying something so you can expand on your skill set and how you help the world. You might be writing a book. You might be like creating something new. This could be so many things, right? And this is also, I've got to say, this is again the no BS energy. Like Queen of Swords is saying no to something here with the Ten of Swords. Like something's finished, she can accept that, she uses it to move on, she's looking forward to new and greater and better things. There may be meaning for a bit of time alone to really sense how you feel about how you want to move forward, but either way, you're moving forward, you're moving up. It's like, it's an interesting reading of like real, eye of the tiger, sort of like, you know, you're on the comeuppance, or however you say it, in such a way, but in doing that, there's a birthing process here that might be a little painful. It's like, and a release and a shedding of the old. What a weird moment. Let's like, I see like a contorting snake or something, like just shedding its skin, and it's like, just, it's not savagely violent, but I hope I'm articulating what you're going through well. Anyway, what do you feel? Let's go a little to the book for this one, hey? It's a big one, and I often like to recommend this deck to people. Sacred Rebels by Alana Fairchild. Fantastic deck. My first by her. I won't read the whole thing, just take blips that jump out to me, but there are many opinions around you. Some are helpful, but others are distracting you from your truth. Although it can be helpful to hear the thoughts of others, when it comes down to it, you will have to come to your own decision. Do you know how unique you are? How your path is your path to be chosen, lived and created by only you? Someone else cannot become the source of your decision-making power without negative repercussions for both of you in the long run. So this oracle comes to you because you may have become swept up in thinking things through. You may have been thinking about which way to go with the matter of importance, that you have got a bit stuck in the logic of decision-making process. Sometimes we have to accept that any path forward, that any path is a path forward, and if it is not the best path, we can change our approach later on if needed. But if we are slightly off base with a decision, life will often shift and move to guide us back on track. We don't have to be perfect. In fact, there is rarely ever a perfect choice to be made. Just some choices that feel more heart-honoring than others. And sometimes we can only really know in hindsight if we made the best choice possible in that moment. At the time of decision making, we only really have our internal wisdom to rely upon. And that is all we need. What else should I read? Anything else here? If you cannot relate to the need to make a choice between two or more clear alternatives, then the oracle brings you the message that you are at a crossroads in your journey, and the choices you make at this time, even simply choosing to do things a little differently without much drama associated with the decision, are powerful triggers for some great magic to enter your life. That's what I feel for a lot of you in this group, that it's not like a big thing you need to decide, but rather like a whole holistic thing. That makes more sense. I hope for you too, just how I'm connecting to it. Anyway, take a different approach to something. Be open to that which makes you uncomfortable but could be exciting and interesting. Even small adventures will yield big rewards right now. It matters less that you do the most wonderful thing ever, too much pressure, and more that you simply take an action from your heart. Open up to the creative magic of life and don't worry about how it is all going to work out. The bigger creative flow of life is sorting out all the details, and you are not immune to that plan. In fact, you are a natural part of it. So just spend some time with your own feelings and know that all is going to work out perfectly. I really did love that card. That's beautiful. And with the Eight of Wands on the bottom of this deck, you know, and actually underneath the Eight of Wands is the Four of Swords. So it is that time to just take a rest, take time out to reflect on where you're headed, where you want to go. Eight of Wands, things are moving forward for you. Four of Swords, like really take your time, all the time you need. The Hermit, run a nice bath, like create a nice space in your garden, like just maybe create an altar if you don't have an altar. Highly recommend that. Create an altar for yourself to put symbols of your intentions there. Do whatever you want with it. Learn about an altar and what you can do with an altar. But even without an altar, like just a beautiful space in your garden where you can have a cup of tea, a few plants that you can watch them grow as you grow as well. Like things like that can be so beautiful and nurturing. Veggies, herbs, lots of gardening references here actually. What else have we got for you? We have the Gathering, community, kinship and companionship. This is absolutely a time to be connecting with communities of people and helping them. I feel like that's the role of group threes, like quite a lot of people connecting to group threes have, I think I said just before, very benevolent energy, and so part of your journey is to help other people, teaching them, guiding them, loving them. It doesn't have to be through your work, but just through random acts of kindness in your everyday life. Spirit guides you to these opportunities and you recognize them and take them. You become a conduit for Spirit, delivering comforting messages, warm words, a soft hand of support. Whatever it is, you are a conduit of Spirit and you allow yourself to be used as that channel of love. And I think that's what this card is all about for you for sure. We also got this extra card from the deck. For group three, it's Insight, magical tools, writing and star crafting. That might be something you're wanting to engage in right now, like learning new divination practices, maybe learning the tarot. Perhaps it's learning about astrology and writing the mysteries of the stars, finding out their secrets. writing books, writing words of wisdom, channeling messages, like it's all there for you, group 3. All of that energy is very encouraged right now. Like, look at her with this very similar energy of the Hermit. She's got this beautiful book of knowledge here that she's absorbing this information almost magically. See the little symbols of magic around her hands and then her head as well. I love that. All right. Group 3, we have in here, I have an oracle message and a prosperity message. So the oracle message you have was imagine. Who do you want to be? Isn't it similar to what do you feel, right? Imagine. Who do you want to be? What do you need to believe in order to have the life you want? You were gifted with the power to imagine. You can dream it, and you can create it. This is the time when your imagination is key to the manifesting of your life you desire. Spend time daydreaming, fashioning a vision board to help you see your goals, or meditating. Allow the power of your creativity to deliver images of what feeds your soul. Then allow your feelings to mingle with your inspirations and imagine these things being real right now. Then repeat. What you imagine will become your belief, and soon you will see these things come to pass in the outer world, as if by magic. The prosperity message for you is to go the distance, and it just speaks for itself. Go the distance in whatever it is you're working towards here. And actually, I can see you got that here 3 times, I would say. Look at that, all running in the correct direction of forwards to the future, like, keep going, whatever it is you're going with, what you're doing. Anyway, go the distance. Prosperity. Your most precious dreams are not about instant gratification, but enduring prosperity. This is a time to think long term and engage in continued action. You will experience momentum building as you translate the ebb and flow into slow, steady movement forward. Your efforts, ideas, and hard work can lead to greater riches than you can imagine. Stoke the fire so that an uninterrupted stream of energy is available to support you in all the phases of manifestation. Be assured that you are in the right place right now. 100%. And then we had deep knowing, and that just came as an extra because that's exactly, like, rely and trust upon that deep knowing that has guided you to this point in life so far and will continue to guide you. And I just get this feeling like if there's something you feel like there's something really challenging that you've got to overcome this year, this month, this week, tomorrow, whatever, one step at a time. And you like you have so far up until this step you stand upon, like a one step at a time is not going to change in moving forward. Don't overwhelm yourself with, the whatever it is you're overwhelming yourself with. Just one step at a time. Chip away, don't compare, don't compare. Don't even compare yourself now to who you want to be. That's another one as well. Like if you've got a massive degree that you want to study and you feel like to get there, like, am I smart enough? It's that sort of concern. You will be. All you need to do is just focus on what's right in front of you and take one step at a time, that deep inner knowing, trusting that to guide you. Sacred Destiny Oracle cards, we have abundance. This is a time of abundance and things growing in your life. You can definitely expect things flowing and growing for you. This is abundance in all ways, absolutely. You also have flow, things flowing towards you and going with the flow in the way things are headed for you, just opening yourself up. We've seen that message here a few times. We also have the message of happiness. I feel like this is a co-create type message too, connecting with friends. This is a card of connecting with people that you can feel that inner child spirit with, have adventures with. It's also bringing me back to the Howlite crystal for this reading, which was the message of enjoying life and just experiencing the sweet wonders of life, playing with your children, catching up with friends, just amongst all the work and pressure that I feel you might be on your shoulders at times. It's just important to have those sweet little moments with our friends, our family, or even our pets, animals as well. We have some my quality time prompts. We have scents, a message of aromatherapy might be something you'd like to do to bring calming, soothing. whatever your intention might be when using aromatherapy. But also trusting in your own senses, like what do you feel, your sense of intuition, your sense of feeling, really trusting in yourself and your sense at this time. We have sing and dare, which I thought was pretty cool because they're both singing, so maybe it's literally about spreading your message, being brave enough to share what you have with the world, or literally singing, soothing with your beautiful voice. Daring to do things differently, daring to live that adventure, daring to just go for it regardless of what other people think or even what you think. Like, just don't hold yourself back, that sort of vibe, you know. Sing, let your message be heard, let your voice be shared, all of it. So that's what I have for you, group 3. I hope that message made any sense at all. I think it did, sort of, sometimes. Oh, that's right, I was going to give you some of these, but I didn't shuffle for them yet. Let's do it, group 3. Let's get some self-care prompts. Okay? Oh, yeah. Small things. Sometimes it's the little things that make life wonderful. And it truly is. I'm going to go make a sweet cup of tea and just sit in my garden and listen to whatever bugs and birds want to approach at that time. Like, that's what I'm going to go do right now. And look, and it fell on that card of, like, it's like a picture of my garden. That's literally how it feels. Small things. Let's get one or two more for you before I do go and have my cup of tea. One, and maybe consider what small thing you'd like to do to make your day a little bit sweeter. You've got let go and move on. Don't allow the past to prevent you from moving forward. Release attachment was one of the messages of the howlite crystal. And one more for group 3. What self-loving prompt? Yeah. Bounce back. Don't give up. All is not lost. Get back up and keep on trying. That's what we have for you. And underneath, so we have level up. Start small, start today, just start. All of this, just climbing up, 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 up. So much things to look forward to. I just saw create an altar as well. So that we did speak on that just before. So group 3, that is what I have for you here today. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. If you have, hit the like button and I'll catch up with you all soon. Take care, group 3.